Your KCHW morning show made possible by a donation from God-Fearing Brothers Auto Center. God-Fearing Brothers specializes in auto services, including repair, maintenance, and detailing. They also stock a full selection of tires, make glass repairs, offer towing, and have an auto sales lot on the corner of Highway 395 and Main Street at the light. For more information, you can visit the Auto Service Center at 806 East Main in Chewelah. Find them online at godfearingbrothers.com or by phone at 509-935-6414. KCHW-FM thanks God-Fearing Brothers for supporting public radio in Stevens County.
And by Chewelah Flooring.
Chewelah Flooring at 214 East Clay in the 3rd Street Mall offers a wide variety of products including carpet, ceramic and porcelain tile, vinyl and laminate planks, and vinyl sheet flooring. Chewelah Flooring carries products for both commercial businesses and residential homes, including brands like National Flooring, Del Tile, Mannington, and Mohawk. They also offer blind repair. For more information, you can visit online at CheWelahFlooring.com, call 509-935-8021, or via email at CheWelahFlooring@gmail.com.
This is KCHW 102.7.
Missing in action left me in LA. With her it's magic till she runs away. Hard as I try, I've gotten really good at saying goodbye to Mrs. Hollywood. She don't know what she does, the movies aren't enough, cause they don't make them about us. No. I'm just dancing with love. Go how she moved out of love.
Smooth.
The computer does it for me. Makes me look good. makes me look better after I make a mistake and don't put the song on.
Good Friday night.
Good morning, everybody. I'm going to stop this song right now. It is your KCHW morning show. It is Friday, April 18th.
Friday.
We are here with myself, Chuck Ritchie, Paula Randall, and Craig McQueen for
Good morning.
Yeah, good morning for Northern Light Spotlight Friday. Sorry, my voice is a little a little off today.
I know, right? Mine too.
You know, I'm hoping I'm not sick, but I also did clean out a project vehicle that we're working on, replacing the engine in.
Yeah.
That got a water leak over the winter, and it was completely moldy. So I was cleaning out a moldy truck the day before yesterday for a couple hours, and I think it. I wore a mask, but not until after I was like, oh man, this is hurting my lungs. I should probably go put a mask on.
I think this is allergies.
Yeah.
This
I think that's what I feel like too.
That's what this feels like too, and tis the season.
Yeah.
Like the
Have
leaves
you
are
seen
blooming.
The trees? Oh my God, they're so pretty, and I have my little tulips and my little daffodils are up, and I love it.
I have a pear tree in my backyard. It's not a what is it, a Bradford pear? It's one of those. It's actually kind of an invasive decorative pear tree.
Okay,
it's
does it give you fruit?
It doesn't. It gives you these little hard, sour, inedible things, but it's really gross. But it makes the most beautiful. It's a huge tree, and it makes the most beautiful white flowers. And right now, it is like a big, fluffy cotton ball out in my yard.
Oh, I love it.
And it's definitely a source of allergies. It's beautiful. But man, that tree, it leaves like a white circle around it on the ground where the pollen drops. Yeah. And I think with the wind yesterday or day before yesterday, that's really got stuff blowing around, and it's getting to me.
I was entranced by my backyard because our power is coming from the train tracks, and then it goes through a tree.
Yeah.
And the apple tree, which also has useless fruit, it's got ththose little teeny tiny pieces of apple.
Crab apples?
Yes, but they're like little. Somebody said they were called princess apples, and theoretically you can put them in a pie because they're too tart to eat.
Right,
tiny.
right.
But anyway, I'm watching, and one of the apple tree branches is just right on top of the line going bounce, bounce, bounce. And I'm like, I better call the city and drop that line so we can trim the tree.
I've got a willow tree in my yard that's doing the same thing.
Right?
Yeah.
Like,
I think the city's probably pretty busy right now doing that for people.
Right?
But yeah, those crab apples, we've taken those and we made applesauce with them. Of course, you got to add a ton of sugar. We've made apple butter with them that turned out really, really good. I made a cinnamon apple liquor with them. Like sort of not like I didn't brew them myself. I just added a bunch of vodka and some sugar and cinnamon sticks and let it sit for a couple years, and turned out fantastic. Yeah,
Apple pie.
Still sit. Yeah, exactly,
Right?
exactly. Some apple pie moonshine. Only I cheated. I just used a handle of vodka. Yeah, still sitting there. I haven't drank it. It's been
It's gonna be really potent.
8 years now, but I've tasted it. It's good. Yeah,
Wow.
it's a lot of liquor for me. I'm not a big drinker.
Good morning, Will.
All right. Good morning, Will. Let's go ahead and get things kicked off here with our weather and mountain condition report. Of course, brought to you by 49 Degrees North Mountain Resort.
Mm-hmm.
We have a high today of 66 degrees. The word it uses is abundant sunshine.
Ooh, mine says plentiful.
Oh.
Yes.
So looking forward to that with a high of
Yes.
66 degrees, 42 degrees and partly cloudy skies overnight. 63 and 41 tomorrow with some showers likely in the morning, sitting at a 58% chance of that. 57 for the high, 36 for that overnight low on Sunday with a 24% chance of rain hanging around. 58 and 33 on Monday, 18% chance of rain. 62 for our high, 35 on Tuesday with mostly sunny skies, 2% chance of rain, so probably pretty dry. 66 on Wednesday with a low of 37 overnight. Then Thursday and Friday of next week, hitting 70 degrees with mostly sunny skies.
First 70 on the map.
Yeah, I think we've had a few. We've had a couple days already.
Have we had a few days in the 70s?
I think we've had 2 or 3 so far.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, but I like your spirit.
Thank you.
Well, it's interesting because like you'll be out in the sun and be warm, and then all of a sudden like a cloud covers, and then all of a sudden you're cold.
You're like
so
freezing,
it's
yeah.
like Chuck was saying earlier.
Yeah.
It's like, where's my jacket? I set it down somewhere, but I don't remember where.
Yeah, you go to work in the
Right.
morning, it's cold, so you put your jacket on, and then you leave at the end of the day, it's warm, you don't think about grabbing your jacket, and then the next morning you go to work,
And you're like, blah, blah, blah.
and yeah, you're freezing because you left your jacket behind. Yeah.
Yeah.
And in my case, I'm struggling to get out, racing to get out the door, and I don't have time to go look for another one. I just
Yeah.
leave and freeze until I get here.
And find it. Oh,
Right?
there it is.
Right?
There it is.
Oh, and like yesterday, I was walking around downtown. You walk downtown, you hit the sun, you're nice, and then you walk behind a building, and you're freezing, and then you hit the sun, and it's nice. Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah,
Very
Yeah.
confusing.
yeah. All right, so up on the mountain, let's see. They are in their Friday through Monday operation, so they are not open today, but they again are open Monday through Friday.
Monday?
Friday through Monday.
They are open.
Yes, so they're open Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday.
Today's Friday.
They are open today. Oh my goodness! You know what? It just occurred to me.
That today's Friday?
Today's Friday. Yeah. Actually, no, I knew that. I just forgot. So up the mountain, 28 inches of snow at the base of the mountain. That number is going down by
Yeah,
the
it was
day.
at 50 something, but it's so warm. The snow, yeah.
That's going down quick. Yeah. So 39 degrees right now at the base, 0 to 5 mile an hour winds, no precipitation with good visibility, sunny skies. Then up at the summit, we have a snow depth still of 185 inches hanging around. That has gone down a little bit, but not near as much as that
Not
snow
near
at the
as
base.
much, yeah.
34 degrees right now with 0 to 5 mile an hour winds again, sunny skies. The surface conditions are listed as groomed with spring snow. Now, Craig, you're a snowboarder.
Yeah.
What exactly is spring snow? I imagine kind of wet, kind of.
Well, it's like sometimes the snow, it does still snow, and sometimes it's like corn type snow. So like you'll get
Corn?
you'll get
What
yeah,
does that
it's like
mean?
I know,
it's
I'm
almost
like,
like
Little
hail.
pellets?
Yeah.
So it's just different consistency, but then like as it warms up and the snow is melting, it softens up, and like in the afternoon when it warms up, and it kind of gets like the mashed potatoes kind of consistency.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
and off the main runs, but it's good that it's groomed because it's a lot safer because it's not lumpy. Like
Right.
they come through and they level it all out, and then so in the morning when it's still pretty solid, it's fast.
Yeah.
And then as the day progresses, it starts to get a little slower because the snow it's like sticky.
Yeah.
Now, are
yeah.
they going to bring out the machines at all to try to keep the base level high, do you think?
So they can make snow as long as it gets below freezing at night. So I'm not exactly sure. Like they mainly just they make the snow for the runs down to the main lift and the lodge. So as long as they have snow that can get you there, they can keep running. Because like the upper half of the mountain usually stays pretty good. It's just that.
Tons of snow.
Yeah. 185 inches of snow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
pretty good. Well,
So-
I hope they make it until the end of April. They're saying they plan to operate through the entire month of April and into the first week of May.
Yeah. Yeah.
So cross our fingers. They get a little bit more snow up there. That it doesn't. They're able to stay open that late. Because I mean, how awesome for
Yeah,
our
it
local
is really great.
community.
Yeah. Want to follow along and for more information about events happening there, about the snow conditions, figure out how to get your passes for next season,
Yeah.
you can visit ski49n.com. And Paula, take us away to the school lunches and breakfast and then lunch.
Hello.
Yeah.
All right. So, of course, on Friday, we have the omelet and hash brown with fruit or juice. They can also have a variety of cereal with a cheese stick or yogurt, fruit or juice. They also have the option of a bread or muffin with a cheese stick or yogurt, fruit or juice. And, of course, Friday is chef's choice. I feel like I need a sound effect for that. With fruit
Right?
or juice, and milk, of course, is offered as well. And then today is the 18th, Pizza Friday with salad and fruit and veggies.
Woohoo. Nice.
Mm-hmm.
Pizza Fridays always sounds like a good idea.
I think so.
Yeah.
Kind of universally. Although I have to say I'm a little sick of pizza.
Yeah. just in general or recently? You've been on a pizza kick?
What Safeway had those Red Baron pizzas for sale for like $4.99 forever. And so Daniel was like, hey, I know. I will feed my family by getting 20 of these Red Baron pizzas.
Wow.
So, yeah, we've had a lot of Red Baron pizza recently, and I'm just kind of like, yeah, I'm done. I'm done.
But the frozen pizzas are to pizza what like Taco Bell is to Mexican food.
Right?
Like, sometimes you get that craving and you don't want, don't want Mexican food. You want Taco Bell.
Yeah, yeah.
Like you don't want a pizza, you want a frozen. Well, do you ever really want a frozen pizza?
I was going to say, yeah.
Yeah, no.
I don't know that I want it, but it's
Man,
like,
it sounds good. I'd really love a good frozen pizza. No, that's
that
that's
does
something
never happen. Yeah.
that's something you eat because it's
Nobody
there.
wants to cook. That's when
Right,
you
Yeah,
exactly.
exactly.
That's when you make that frozen pizza.
But then there's those little square ones, and those ones are another completely different animal on themselves.
Yeah.
And those ones are ones that you do kind of have a craving for sometime. Especially you get that bottom crisp like a cracker. Yeah, that's the way I like it.
Square
Have
ones.
you have you had the ones that are like the super dirt cheap ones? You know which ones I'm talking about?
thought
They
that
used
was
to be
the
like
Red
$1 for a pizza or
Yeah,
something.
like that's what I'm talking about. Like the like, can we say the brand name? The Totino's, yeah, the square party pizzas.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
they've got like a weird like crispy kind of crust on them.
Exactly, like
it's almost like
Take a
it's
cracker.
it's a savory. What would that be like a
flatbread,
like a pastry of some
yeah,
sort?
like a
But
cracker.
it's
Yeah.
like but kind of addictive.
They are. It's kind of like it's either a cracker or you don't get it quite enough, and the crust is just like soggy and chewy.
It might be the MSG in it, but
Yeah,
that might be what we're addicted to.
Right.
little MSG never hurt anybody, right?
Oh
Right?
my
It's
gosh.
just salt.
Right? No, that's not true at all.
Too runny.
All right, so let's go ahead and get on to events here so we can get to the Northern Light Spotlight.
Well, before events,
got-
do we have
oh.
any birthdays?
Oh, yes. Sorry. I'm off my game
I
today.
know, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Because
All
you're
right.
wearing the wrong sweatshirt.
I am. I tried to do laundry last night, and I have my new KCHW hoodies that are available at our new KCHW online merch store.
Is
Whoa.
that where
And-
is that like attached to the KCHW website?
You know what? I forgot to put it up. I haven't put it up yet.
I
So
was gonna look at stuff.
I will I'll get the link out after the show.
Okay.
So
I know.
it's somewhere on the interwebs, but the link hasn't been established yet.
Correct.
Okay.
Well, I have the link. I just haven't shared
He's
it
just
yet.
taunting us. He's just like,
It's just like
I have merch. Like
I
that.
do. I
swag,
I know,
everybody.
right?
I got a couple of test hoodies, and you know what? One thing I got that's really cool, that I really love. You have one in front of you.
Right?
We have KCHW mouse pads.
Mouse pad.
I saw
Yeah.
those.
Yeah, aren't those cool?
Right?
Man, I'm jelly. I don't even have a mouse for my computer. I might need to get one so I can
Just
have
thinking
a
of a
mouse pad. yeah.
Right?
Oh, and the mugs. The mugs are actually really cool.
Yeah, we've got these. There's color changing mugs. You put the hot water in, and they go from black to have our banner on there.
It's magic.
Right?
Right? Will says he needs one. He's like, that's big news.
It is
Hey,
big news.
Can I have a hoodie in the color of the sweatshirt that you're wearing?
Yeah. There's turquoise.
Yeah.
There's a whole bunch of different colors in there. So yeah, there's all kinds of varieties, and
Now, are they already printed, or do you, as you order them, they print
These-
them and send them out?
these are the print to order.
That's cool. I like
And-
that idea.
Yeah.
Will has looked into that for our band hoodies and stuff.
And it would be great to have them locally done and have the merch in stock, but the costs involved with that. We're a nonprofit,
Yeah, really high.
small radio station. We don't have the budget to pre-purchase all that stuff. But this way, and it gets a pretty decent, profit margin. So it brings a little money into the station when you make those purchases, and You get a little more variety, and we can do anything in that store. Really, we can put
do
together
anything.
in about 5 minutes. We can put together a KCHW shower curtain for you.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah,
Right, because we all need that.
who doesn't need that,
Right.
right?
Exactly.
Right. All right. So now, let's see on our birthday calendar, on our Chula Valley Lions Club calendar today. Hey, it's Good Friday today as well. We have Cheryl George and Joe Drysis with birthdays. There you go.
Very cool.
Happy birthday, you
Are
two.
you ready?
I'm ready.
Happy
Happy
birthday. Happy day.
Happy birthday. Hey.
Yay.
You
You
know,
are so good.
if this
I'm gonna have
keeps-
to work with Sharon. I know she was timid. She doesn't want to sing
Right?
a happy
But
birthday
she
song.
did.
She
She
did.
actually
She
made-
did? I missed
Yes.
it.
and she did her own happy birthday song
Yes.
on Wednesday.
She did. It was
Yeah.
great.
She likes to outshine. I've noticed.
She
I
does.
know.
She does.
She's so good.
She's humble about it, but you know, she'll bring the thunder.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so go ahead. Let's take us into breakfast and lunch menus here.
We already did that.
You
Are
did-
you not drinking your coffee this
I
morning?
have not. My coffee's still too hot. I haven't even had a sip of it.
Oh, so you should put it in like this little thing that you give me because it's perfect.
That's right, because we had the whole conversation about pizza.
Exactly. All right. Okay. So,
Sorry.
of course, this morning
Wow.
we have the Chamber of Commerce meeting. There's still about 15 minutes left. That's over at Mistaqua. So, if you want to go check out the Chamber meeting on Friday morning, you can get there at 7 a.m. and it goes until 8 over at the Mistaqua Cafe inside the casino. Also, today is pickleball. Pickleball is on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. And Mondays and Fridays are the hard pickleball. Goes from 9 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. They're currently still in the Chewila Court Center over there, the old middle school.
Hard pickleball.
I know, right? That's where no beginners. You better know how to play if you show up on a Monday or a Friday. But if you want to learn, show up on a Wednesday. I am not seeing anything else today.
Neither do I. Oh, the spring deck party is up at the
There we
49
go.
Degrees
Yes,
North
I knew
Mountain
I was
Resort.
going to say. Okay, so deck party this Friday and Saturday with live music, food, and drinks. And then Easter Sunday is packed with events.
Yep.
Sneva, MFG, Golden Egg. What?
I'll bet you Craig's going to tell us who's playing there tonight.
Oh, I know. I'm excited.
Yeah, or today.
You know, I don't know. They didn't put it on the website. I was looking
Oh.
for it. I wasn't sure exactly who they have today and tomorrow, but I know on
Okay.
Sunday I'm playing up there. So.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh, for the
Easter
Easter
Sunday.
egg, yeah.
Easter Sunday.
Nice,
So
nice.
it looks like it's going to be a lot of fun on Sunday. They're doing the Golden Egg. You could win custom skis or a board.
Mm-hmm.
A kid's sweet tooth egg hunt and an Easter brunch at 10 a.m. and the raffle at noon over at 49 Degrees. So it's going to be a lot of fun up there. And then we have a lot of egg hunts happening here in town on Saturday the 19th. We have the Kiwanis Easter egg hunt, and that is over at the Jenkins High School football field. There are 3 different age groups, 0 to 4, 5 to 7, and 8 to 12, and that starts at 11 a.m. So make sure to bring an empty basket and your kids ready to find some eggs there.
Mm-hmm.
There's another Easter hunt. Do you have that one up, Craig? Joe, what is your name, Chuck? There we
My
go.
name's Chuck. I'll be here all day. Yeah. All right. Oh, pardon you. All right, so
Excuse me.
I don't have that one up here. It's not on the community calendar.
All
No,
right.
the Easter egg hunt for the ski resort is on Sunday, right?
Yeah, that's
and
on
the
the 20th. but there
Kiwanis
was
is on the
an-
19th.
Yeah, but there was another one on the 19th, I thought.
Oh, I don't remember seeing that one.
Oh, my goodness. All right, I'm going to have to take
We're-
my phone off its thing here.
Right.
Right,
All right,
so we
but really
can-
quick while you're looking that up, also on Saturday is the let's see how here. There is the Spring Trail Work Party. That's at the Gold Hill Community Forest. That's from 9 a.m. to 12:30. Then we have the from the ground also from 9 to 3 at the Spokane Community College campus in Colville.
Yeah,
Is the From the Ground Up Gardening Workshop. That's happening from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m.
great information about soil and how to take
Yeah.
care of your soil.
And pests and beneficial insects and
Yes.
watering and fertilizing, all that stuff. And then 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. in Spokane. This might actually be a cool thing to go to. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to make it, but it's the Spokane County, at the Spokane County Fair and Expo Center is the Spokane Bike Swap.
Ooh.
Yeah, there's all kinds of cool bike stuff and bikes, and that seems like a fun one to go to. My bike needs some updates this year, I think.
Right?
All right, and then the Pinwheels and Paint is in Colville at Yep Cannon Park from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Not really sure. I'm assuming that has something to do with cars. No, it doesn't. All right, so this is a fun, creative day in the park as we celebrate Child Abuse Prevention Month, Awareness Month. Enjoy painting, pinwheel activity, connecting with the community. This family-friendly event raises awareness about child abuse prevention while fostering creativity and healing through art. Again, this is at the Yup Cannon Park in Colville from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Nothing to do with cars, apparently.
Well, the other thing.
I was thinking spokes.
Go ahead.
The other thing, what?
I was going to say the other thing happening this weekend, of course, is the farm barter sale.
Oh,
The
yeah.
Stevens County Farm Barter. That's tomorrow at 8 a.m. at 2796 Bundy Road in Chewelah. And I'm not finding the other Easter egg. I know there's one more, so if you know the information about that, please post it. We know about the 49 degrees.
You know what? Oh, I think it actually passed. There was one, we got sent one from Deer Park, but I believe it was yesterday.
Is that what I'm thinking of?
Yeah, I think so, because we talked
I
about
know
it
we
Wednesday.
yeah, exactly. Okay. All right, well, I will stop looking for it then and go back to my regularly scheduled job of telling you what's going on here in Chewelah.
We figured it out.
Yay!
Good job, team. Head back to base.
All right. Okay. So you were talking about the amazing classes.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Let me catch up here.
No
All right.
worries.
You were talking about from the ground up gardening workshop, and I'm actually really excited about that. I won't be able to go, but also on the 19th, this weekend, is a really exciting event over at the Aaron Huff Memorial Building.
Yes.
Super excited. The Creative District annual meeting. And we're doing a lot of really amazingly fun stuff. We're going to have a brief overview of all the things that Creative District has done this past year and what we hope to do this coming year.
Mm-hmm.
There's also going to be activities. There's going to be a lot of interactive displays and games. It's going to be a hoot. Might be 2 hoots.
Might even be a hootenanny.
Might be a hootenanny or a hoot and a half.
A hoot and a half.
Yes. So definitely come and check us out tomorrow at the Huff Building from 11 a.m. until 2.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I did get the invite, Chuck. Thank you.
You're welcome,
Oh,
sir.
good.
You're welcome.
Awesome.
It's been out, but we're trying to sort of hand invite people that we really want to be there because
Well, I want to
some
be
of
there.
some of the creatives that we have in town.
Yes.
We'd love to see them there.
I
Well,
got
and
some
we'd love to
creative
have-
stuff happening. So
Yeah, and
just
we'd love
come
to have
share.
some
Yeah.
additional people on our board. We have 3 open spaces on the Creative District
Mhm.
board. And so if you're interested in joining the Creative District and serving on the board, come and nominate yourself or let one of us know and we'll nominate you. Craig.
I
Right?
caught the hint, but that was good. That
Was
was
that
good.
subtle? You
yeah,
like
yeah,
that?
a little subtle.
But yeah, you can come. We have 3 open spaces and we'd love to work with you. So come check us out.
Yeah. And I've got a notice here. Not really something happening this weekend, but Town and Country Days in Kettle Falls
Mhm.
is looking for vendors. So it says we're accepting applications for vendors selling the goods and sharing information. I love how they word that.
Selling the goods.
Sell the goods.
Yeah.
Sharing information at the Town and Country Days Street Fair Market. That event happens from June 6th and 7th in Kettle Falls. A standard vendor booth space is $50 for the 2-day event.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty reasonable. And there will be 2 days of entertainment, festival food, market vendors, bouncy houses, my favorite, and carnival games, live music, and dancing. They never let me in the bounce house, though. Something about a weight limit or an age limit. I
Height
don't know.
limit, probably.
Right? I
Right?
don't know. I guess I just have to get my own.
I could just see that in your yard. That would be awesome.
We had one for our kids when they were little, like a smaller one, and it was awesome. We would fill it with water during the summer.
funny.
Yeah, and bounce around in it. It was great.
That is awesome. All right, things coming up in the near future,
Mm-hmm.
of course. We have the Chewelah's Got Talent coming up,
Yes.
and the auditions for that are on the 5th and the 10th, right?
The 3rd and the 10th.
3rd and the
3rd
10th.
and the 10th. Yep.
So that's May 3rd and May 10th. You do not have to go to both auditions. You can just go to one, and then the performance is on
May
May 22nd.
May 24th.
May 24th.
May 24th.
I can read. Okay, here we go.
And that is so the applications to perform are available at kchw.org, or you can go to our KCHW Radio Facebook page and find those. I'm going to get those updated again today, get those out again. I've sent them out to all the schools, and we talked about this a little bit on yesterday, I think. There are so many school districts in Stevens County. I had no idea. There's like a
Oh,
dozen.
wow.
There are 2 separate school districts in Addie.
I wonder why. Isn't Addie really small?
Well, they got
Eddie's
Summit
tiny.
Valley and what's the
Yeah,
other
Summit
one?
Valley and Evergreen.
Oh, okay. I'm not familiar with Evergreen.
I wasn't either.
It must
Yeah.
just be the district lines, how they lined up or
Maybe
something.
one's a private. I'm not sure, but yeah.
Interesting.
But yeah, trying to get the word out to all the kids. Of course, this is for all ages. There will be
Yes.
cash prizes. We're getting sponsors coming in.
Yes.
There's also on the website and the Facebook page, there is another link to take you to purchase those tickets and become a sponsor.
So my husband wants to audition, and he would
Mm-hmm.
like to utilize the stove and the refrigerator. And I finally saw
Right?
the
That's
song. He's like, "What is
Craig's face is
Right?
like a little
So
bit of like, what? And
he?"
yeah.
He
see
showed
it.
me the movie clip that he wants to try and reproduce, and it's a movie where it's it's a satire, it's a tongue-in-cheek kind of Mel Brooks kind of thing, and it's one of those crooning, like the guy is trying to emulate Elvis, ho 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 ho, ho the blues, right?
Yeah,
The girls
yeah,
are in the audience screaming, and he's so handsome and so hot, right, that he's like, oh, and I just can't continue, and he sticks his head and he's singing in the oven, and they have to pull him out of the oven, and then he goes over and he puts himself in the fridge, and they have to pull him out of the fridge because he's just too hot. So
Way
yes,
too cool.
right? And I was like,
Yeah,
yeah, but
yeah.
Daniel, you'd have to have other people on the stage with you because somebody has to pull you out, So the gag, if you're doing it by yourself, that's not
Well,
going to
maybe
work.
he can just figure out a way to mime and pull himself out.
Right? Like the hand behind him, like yanking it out.
I think he can. I think he can figure it out.
He could
Too
pull that.
funny.
I
Well,
think I
so-
saw. Isn't that a
we
scene
have-
from Bye Bye Birdie?
Right? So we have that to look forward to. Also, you guys, the auditions for The Tempest.
Get
Shakespeare's
involved.
play The Tempest are coming up May 5th, May 6th, and May 10th. So May 5th and 6th, the auditions are at 6 to 7 p.m. over at the Center for the Arts. And on May 10th, it's from 11 to 1. This year, The Tempest is going to be amazing. If you're not familiar with the play, The Tempest is all about being stranded on a deserted island. And I'm setting it over in the Pacific Northwest. We're going to be in the San Juan Islands at an unknown island. It's got magic, it's got wizards, it's got betrayal, and of course, it's a love story because it's Shakespeare. So there's
Right.
always a love story. Don't know anything about Shakespeare? I don't care. You know a lot about Shakespeare? Awesome. You don't have to have anything prepared. Come to the auditions, the Center for the Arts, May 5th, 6th, and 10th. Again, May 5th and 6th from 6 to 7, and May 10th from 11 to 1. So I hope to see you guys there.
Very, very cool.
I'm excited.
Also, on the next weekend, on the 26th, is the Earth Day Fair. Here
Yes.
in Chihuahua, yeah. And that is, I'm trying to pull up the information right now. Of course, it's slow loading. This is going to be at St. Paul's Lutheran Church at 110 North 2nd Street in Chihuahua. This will be, it's for the whole family, all ages, free food, vendors, games for kids. Saturday, April 26th from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. And next week, we have a guest on the morning show. I had her scheduled for Wednesday, but my dog has surgery scheduled for 9 a.m. Wednesday morning in Spokane.
Oh, wow.
So I'm trying to get them moved to Thursday.
Yeah.
Haven't heard back yet, but I'm hoping to still get them on the air.
Who?
The representative, her name is Karen. She's
Oh,
with
nice.
St. Paul's Lutheran Church.
Nice.
But yeah, I'm hoping that I don't know if she's seen the message. I'm going to get back to her.
Freeman.
But yeah.
Yeah.
And I need, my dog, he's in an immense amount of pain. He has a staph infection in his middle ear, and he needs surgery to have the infection removed. It's
Poor
been that way for
thing.
many years. We've gone through multiple vet
Yeah.
visits with it not being diagnosed, and we finally got it diagnosed. We saw a specialist, and they're like, "Yep, this needs to be
ASAP.
yep,
Yeah.
needs to be removed manually."
Oh,
so
my
yeah, poor guy.
goodness.
Probably too much for the radio audience, but
Right now you're all like, oh.
yeah, my boy. So I'm gonna have to bring him in for emergency surgery on Wednesday.
Oh,
so,
man.
Well,
yeah.
so also on the 26th, of course, is the Colville Valley Animal Sanctuary Drive-Through Vaccination Clinic.
Yes.
And that's
Yes.
from 9:30 a.m. to 1 p.m. So it's a great opportunity to go and get your animals, get their vaccines for a price you can afford. I know I went to the vet to get a rabies shot updated for my dog, and it was like $50. It was crazy. So go to the vet clinic, go to the vaccination clinic, and get your vaccinations at a reasonable rate for your pets. But it's first
Yeah.
come, first serve. Line up. You have to make sure your pets are under control. Cats have to be in a carrier. Dogs have to be leashed.
Well, and I was
So-
really impressed with the Colville Valley Animal Sanctuary and their team. We performed at their secret gala dinner, and I mean,
Yes.
it was very well put together. And they're reaching out and looking for more volunteers and maybe some sponsorships. So
Yeah.
if you're looking for something to do, reach out to the Colville Valley Animal Sanctuary. They definitely have work for you. So
Yeah, I know. Recently, I don't know if I'm assuming they probably filled it, but they actually had a paid position taking care of animals recently. That they were
Nice.
advertising for. But I know they rely heavily on volunteers. They don't make a lot of money.
No.
But they do really, really good work for the community. So
Yeah, and they provide a service for the community that we wouldn't have otherwise, because we're not as big of we don't have the population like, say, Spokane County, where they actually have a pound of some sort, or you know what I mean, like a place where animals can go. So,
Right,
like Spokane Animals or something.
Yeah.
And one more thing here we missed before we get over to the Northern Light Spotlight. On April 25th, the Chewila Valley Land Trust and the Northeast Washington Forest Coalition are doing the World Trails Film Festival. And this is going to be at the
Yes.
Chewila Center for the Arts, 6 p.m., April 25th. And with that said, we need to get over to the Northern Light Spotlight.
Right.
Are we
Craig?
to that point?
Yeah,
We are
Craig.
to
Northern
that
Light
point.
Spotlight.
Spotlight.
So,
We need a theme. We need a theme.
Yeah, if you're not familiar,
We knew somebody who wrote music. I mean, I just
yeah,
think, right?
exactly. I need to work on that. We have a group that we created on Facebook called the Northern Light Spotlight. It is a place for promoters, musicians, artists to promote their work, what you're doing, what kind of events you have coming up. If you're not in the community calendars that we just went through, this is a way that we can find out about some events that maybe we wouldn't have got light shedded on. And so I want to start with Doug Kyle. He wanted to announce that the open mic at Fired Up Brewing is starting up again, and it's going to be on Saturday the 19th, and they alternate Saturdays doing the open mic there. And then on the opposite Fridays at Cahoots, they do an open mic there. So every week in Colville, there is an open mic, and it's alternating from Fridays to Saturdays. And that's starting at 5 with Gunnar Nelson as the host. And he's a violinist, if you're not familiar with Gunnar. And so
for a second, I thought you were saying he's violent. I'm like, wow.
Yeah. Absolutely. Not violent, but if you're
Violently talented.
So if you're up in the Colville area, go check out the open mic on Saturday at Fired Up Brewing. And then Saturday here in Chewila, we're having a Flower Power karaoke party with prizes at the Oasis Tavern.
Nice.
And that's going to start at 9, and it's going to go all the way till midnight, maybe even later. And our host, Leah B, will be there with her groovy threads and awesome vocals. And so take a trip back to the 60s at the Flower Power Karaoke at the Oasis Tavern this Saturday.
Peace out, man.
Peace out. And our friend Just Plain Darren's got a few gigs coming up. Tonight he's at the Riddler from 7 to 8:30 p.m., the South Hill Grill on Saturday from 5:30 to 8:30. Then Easter sunrise service at the Greenwood Terrace Sunday at 6:30 to 7:30 a.m. Then later that day at the Gathering House at 10 a.m. for the Sunday service, I believe.
Very cool.
And Natasha Force wanted to. I noticed that she was promoting that open mic at Fired Up Brewing, so I wanted to make sure to plug that again.
That's
says,
in Colville.
Dance yourself on down. Chipped and Broken will be performing on April 26th at 6 p.m. at Fired Up Brewing.
Wait, do you know who? That's one I've never heard of. Chipped and Broken. Who are those
Chipped
guys?
and Broken. So Chip is the dentist in Colville.
Oh,
Chip
cool.
Johnson.
Cool.
He's actually
He's a dentist?
he is a dentist
named Chip.
How funny.
named Chip. Yeah.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
Is that
and
a
he has a
nickname?
band?
Well,
And he has a band, yeah, Chipped and Broken.
Does he like imitate Steve Martin? Because I might be a little scared.
No, I mean they just do basically
I'm
like
a
90s
dentist.
90s rock. I think is mainly their genre that they do. He's a really good vocalist and a good frontman and just a nice person.
Oh, how
So-
Awesome.
fun.
And they're very supportive of the music. I see him out at shows and whatnot. So
Very cool.
yeah.
And of course, now because of that, I'm going to have the entire list of songs from Little Shop of Horrors in my head all day.
All day.
And you know what? I don't
That's
care.
okay,
I'm
yeah.
okay with that one. Better than the song I had in my head earlier. Woo, it was a bad one.
And then out on Highway 2, Whiskey Glasses, every Saturday from 7 p.m. to 11 p.m., they have an open mic night.
Very cool.
Nice.
Crown Jewel Music Festival. Where is this one at? I found
Where
that
is that
sometimes
at?
I find these and I'm like, I don't even know where they're at.
There's no location on the poster.
There isn't, is there?
It's got to be down here. It's got to be in that fine
Oh,
print.
of
down
course.
there.
Yeah, of course. We got it. Yeah, that didn't help, did it? So this is in Coeur d'Alene, Idaho, it looks like.
Oh.
Yeah, from 2 p.m. to 10 p.m. on June 14th. So all proceeds to the
Priest
like
Lake
groomers.
Yeah. And EMT volunteers.
Yeah, very cool. So there's going to be raffle games, live music, apparel, food, and drinks. So if you're out in that area in Coeur d'Alene, there's the Crown Jewel Music Festival on June 14th.
Nice.
Oh, Carrie, you have a great weekend too. Carrie says the weather's so good. May you all have a great weekend, and thank you for all the effort to putting out the live radio. Well,
hey,
thank you for listening,
that's
Carrie.
Awesome, Carrie.
Appreciate it.
So Will Lee and I are teaming up as brother son. We're going to be at the Hunters Bar and Grill with Jacob Van Noe Music on April 26th at 8 p.m. That's a 21 and over event.
That's it. Hunter's Bar and Grill.
Yep.
Very cool.
Is this
Very
another? Cool. Is this another band?
This is another band. It's just so Will's dad is actually recouping, so he's not actually able to perform. So instead of us going out and being just two stones or one bird, one stone, we are brother son.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
A bird and a stone.
A bird and a stone. I mean,
the jokes we could make. The jokes we could make.
We make jokes. It's that's what keeps us going. Right?
A bird in the hand is as good as a stone thrown in a glass house.
Something like that.
Yeah, yeah.
So
we'll work on it.
Tonight, Zach Pass, Lefty Fields, and myself are going to be playing over at the Oasis. We're doing a Pass the Hat, starting the Pass the Hat 2025 tour at the Oasis. It was just kind of like, hey, we want to play. You guys mind if we set up and play? And so we're going to pass the hat around. And
that's tonight?
That's tonight,
okay.
Yeah.
I need to get a hold of. I've actually been wanting to get a hold of Lefty. I didn't get.
We'll
his
come
contact
down and talk to
the
him
other day. Yeah,
we'll be down there.
I'm going to be in Spokane today, so probably very late.
Okay. Well, hey, I'll mention it to him. I'll try to get
yeah.
him to reach out to you.
Yeah, very cool.
All right.
We'll talk more about that after the show. Yeah.
And then on Saturday night, I'm going to be hosting a live jam session with my buddy Chase Champagne at Trix Bar and Grill. Also, Eli, his bass player from On Call Cowboys, who's going to be thumping on the bass. And then our friend Dylan Ashbaugh is going to be playing the drums.
Very cool.
So
very cool.
We're going to be just basically live jam. We've never all played together outside of a jam, so it's going to be really interesting. I have played with Chase in a band.
Yeah.
But no gigs. It was just rehearsals. So, but
yeah,
it should be a lot of fun. I've got a lot of other musicians that I've invited to come join the fun. So
Chase has a wonderful stage presence and amazing energy and just a phenomenal musician.
Very cool.
So I'm gonna have Paula help me. I heard Chuck say it's Yep Kenham celebration.
That's how I've always pronounced it. Yep Kenham.
Does that sound right? Anyway, music and entertainment. We've got it coming up in Colville, July 18th, 19th, and 20th. And I think they're looking for vendors right now. Is that what I heard? Or
the one I was talking about was in Kettle Falls. That was
that's
Town and Country
Town
Days.
and Country Days.
What's this one?
This is the Yep Kenham celebration. So this is their kind of. I think it used to be called Rendezvous Days, but maybe they just rebranded after COVID.
Okay.
And so Friday, Justin Johnson, Dave and Ray, Mystic Phoenix, Kunda. Marimba Drum and Dance.
Oh, cool.
The Travelers, Hannah Jackson, Sarah Brown Band. And then on Saturday, they've got Step Brothers Band, Irish Dancers, Stevens County Stompers, On Call Cowboys, Mystic Phoenix, Midnight Run, Sonic Groove, Mean Tweets. Then carrying on to Sunday,
Mean Tweets, I love it.
We've got Jason Perry, Jukebox Review, Murphy's Legacy, Eric Larson Band, and Von Jensen Band. So there's a lot of music happening July 18th, 19th, and 20th in Colville at their park there.
That is very cool.
When is that again? July?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, just getting the word out early,
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
So we're gonna have Chase come in
before.
Chase is gonna come in and do an interview with us like the 2 weeks before that or something.
He's going to steal the show.
Well,
it's going to be a good one.
Yeah, I'm excited to have Chase in here.
And don't forget, the week before that, there is Chihuila's Summerfest. That's July 12th.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Well, on the weekend after that, Tempest is performing on the 19th and 20th.
Yes, they are.
And there'll be live music at that, too.
Yes, there will be.
Yes, there will be.
All right, so we've got in Kalispell, Montana. This is an interesting one.
Wow.
Jacob Van Noe Music with Resurgence is going to be playing at the Eagles. Doors open at 6:30, and it's a $5 admission. So that's really neat. Let's see what date that is. It's going to be on April 25th. So that's a Friday. Resurgence and Jacob Van Noe music at the Eagles in Kalispell, Montana.
Nice. Nice.
Is it Kalispell like it's spelled here?
Probably. It's like a cowlet.
Is there Kalispell in Washington? I thought that was just Montana.
It's the casino.
Oh,
and
yeah,
Airway
yeah.
Heights.
Okay.
So on May 2nd at Hunter's Bar and Grill, Barry Starkey will be performing, and that starts at 7 p.m.
So if you wanted to go over there, it's a 4-hour and 37-minute drive from Chewelah to go to Kalispell.
Kalispell, yeah.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
So 80s night at Cowboys and Angels is going to be, is that tonight or is that last night? Oh, that's tonight. So April 18th starting at 8 p.m.
Where was that?
Cowboys and Angels.
Cowboys and Angels. So
where is that, though?
that is in Colville.
Okay.
So it's probably like a dance party, I'm guessing.
Is that the name of the band or is that the venue?
That's the venue.
Oh, okay.
And where, like, that's a a bar? Or?
Yeah, it's a bar.
Okay,
It used to be
okay.
called Tiny's way back. It's just off of Heritage Court.
Okay.
Off, like, in the back behind it in the alley. And then
So just like the radio station, we swear it's a good alley. You can come on down.
So I'm working really hard at finding a new venue for our Wednesday night acoustic jam.
I was just going to ask.
And on the second and fourth Wednesday, I do have a few places that I've reached out to. Some of the places aren't open on Wednesday. Like they're like, oh, we're not open. We're open Thursday through Sunday. And I'm like, oh,
Well,
okay. Well,
we've talked about right here at the radio station.
well,
It's always
and that,
open for you.
Yeah, and that would work. It's just it's kind of hard. It's hard when I do it at a place where they're actually compensating me for providing the service of bringing people in.
Yeah, I know.
So I know. It's I volunteer a lot.
You do.
I'm trying to do it for a living too.
At some point, you got to get paid.
Yeah. So anyway, I've reached out to a few places just to see what's available, and if not, I mean, we do have venues that we can still get together and jam some tunes.
Yeah.
So look forward to.
When
promoting
it's not like we serve food and drinks here either. So
Right,
there's that,
so it'd have to be like a potluck or something, which is fun. It's just,
but that would be fun to do a musician's potluck.
Yeah.
Like a monthly or something.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that'd be a lot of fun.
yeah, exactly. And then next week we have the promoter coming for this festival that he's putting together. It's called the Zephyr Folk Festival.
Mm-hmm.
And let me blow this up so I can actually see it. It's going to be on June 6th and 7th, and tickets are available. This is going to be at Liberty Lake at the Zephyr Lodge. There's a bunch of great acts. I can't actually see all of them on there, but Racoma, Amelia Day, and Baby Jake are some of the headliners.
Mm-hmm.
And then he's going to actually be bringing an artist with him that's going to be performing at that. And I can't remember his name right off the top of my head, but next week that's who our guests are going to be on the Northern Light Spotlight.
Very
Outstanding.
cool.
Outstanding. And good morning, Corey. Who's that lady?
Who is
Yeah,
that
I don't
awesome
know.
person? I
Corey's
feel like she's
awesome.
got to be really, really neat.
All right, so
She
that
really is.
concludes everything on the Northern Light Spotlight. Good morning, Corey. Thanks for watching. We've got a guest waiting in the theater.
Waiting in the wings.
In the wings. So we're going to go to break real fast, and then we'll have Kenny Walker here to talk music with us.
Nice.
Yes, ma'am. You're yes. Well, you're ma'am.
I know.
Craig, you're sir. Yes, sir. All right. This is the KCHW Morning Show right here on KCHW 102.7. We will be right back after this. Oh, I got to make sure I got to go because I accidentally played it. There we go. There we go.
Click. There we go.
I had to go back because I accidentally started it a little bit early. So, all right, we'll be right back, everybody.
You're listening to KCHW 102.7 Northern Lights Public Radio.
The Public News Service Daily Newscast, April the 18th, 2025. I'm Joe Ullery. An active shooter at Florida State University left 2 people dead and 6 injured Thursday. Police arrested a 20-year-old suspect, the son of a current sheriff's deputy who reportedly used one of her weapons. Leon County Sheriff Walt McNeil confirmed the connection. Tallahassee Memorial is treating the injured. A federal appeals court blocked the Trump administration's attempt to avoid depositions over Kilmar Albrego Garcia's mistaken deportation. Judges criticized the government's actions, saying it tried to hide U.S. residents in foreign prisons without due process. Officials admitted they deported Garcia to El Salvador by mistake. He remains jailed there. His lawyers are suing to bring him back. A bipartisan group of lawmakers in Congress is joining advocates for energy assistance across the country to warn that a dangerous situation is brewing for low-income households. Our Mike Moen with the story.
The Trump administration's layoffs of 10,000 health and human services workers includes the entire office that oversees the Low-Income Energy Assistance Program. The longstanding program gives eligible households a break on their monthly bills to avoid utility shutoffs. The National Energy Assistance Directors Association works with states on this issue, and the group's Mark Wolf says the layoffs have blocked the latest round of aid from getting to them.
Many states have told us that they've either run out of money or they're very close to it, and that they need this additional funds to help families.
Minnesota's among the states to report an imminent zero balance if action isn't taken soon. 13 U.S. senators have signed a letter asking the administration to get LIHEAP staff back in place and the money moving again.
Environmental groups across Michigan are pushing back after the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers confirmed it will fast-track Enbridge's Line 5 tunnel project without conducting a full environmental review.
Line 5 is a 645-mile pipeline that transports crude oil and natural gas liquids beneath the Straits of Mackinac. Speeding up the project is in response to President Donald Trump's declaration of a national energy emergency. Ashley Rosinski with the Groundwork Center for Resilient Communities alleges fast-tracking Line 5 without a thorough review violates at least 2 state laws and raises concerns about potential oil spills and threats to treaty rights.
We have also seen many of our partners in this work and allies, the 6 tribal nations here in Michigan, pull out of continued negotiations with the Army Corps. In my estimation, that is because this process has become a sham.
Enbridge responded in a statement saying, in part, Line 5 is a critical energy infrastructure and it's safe. But after nearly 5 years, the project still awaits a U.S. Army Corps decision on its environmental impact. Crystal Blair reporting.
This is Public News Service. Communities in southern and eastern Montana were connected to passenger rail lines running from Chicago to Seattle until 1979. An effort to fund the revival of those routes passed the House, but failed the Montana Senate this week by a few votes. Our Kathleen Shannon has the story.
The Big Sky Passenger Rail Authority has garnered support from county commissioners, city council members, and Montanans across party lines since its creation in 2020, especially in communities that could again become rail towns. Authority Vice Chair Jason Stewart calls rural rail a critical lifeline.
Folks need access to critical healthcare services and other services, and the only way they can reach them is by car. Passenger trains would just be such a blessing for all these communities up and down throughout southern Montana and southern North Dakota.
Opponents, largely with the freight industry, argued they shouldn't be expected to subsidize passenger rail. I'm Kathleen Shannon.
Drone footage provided evidence in a case by animal advocacy group Animal Outlook and helped expose misleading free-roaming egg claims by a poultry farm in Pennsylvania. Our Danielle Smith with a story.
The video showed hens in poor living conditions contradicting the farm's marketing. Animal Outlook's Ben Williamson says for years the industry has raised animals in confinement with high walls. Undercover investigations get beyond them. He says drone footage from public airspace now offers a new way to see what's happening inside.
I hope it serves as an example for other animal protection organizations around the world that they can use cutting-edge photography to investigate other claims.
Alderfer has agreed to settle a class action lawsuit for over $287,000 and pledged to remove the free roaming claim from its products. The company eggs are sold in stores in the Northeast and Mid-Atlantic states.
Beef production has risen steadily over the past 50 years, but so has its environmental impact. In Washington, over 750,000 acres of state land are leased for grazing, which can threaten habitats for other species.
Deforestation from cattle grazing disrupts what are known as food webs, interconnected predator-prey systems that maintain ecosystem balance. Jennifer Malador of the Center for Biological Diversity says while the most notable damage is to the Amazon rainforest, cattle ranching has also devastated old-growth forests in the Northwest for decades.
More than 1/3 of U.S. land is used for pasture, making grazing the single largest user of land in the contiguous 48 states.
Malador adds the conversion of forests, grassland, and other ecosystems to livestock pasture and feed cropland is a leading driver of biodiversity loss. I'm Isabel Charlet.
This is Joe Ullery for Public News Service, member and listener supported. Find our trust indicators at publicnewsservice.org.
It's 8:16.
Your KCHW morning show is made possible by donations from
Colville Toyota. Colville Toyota, located at 160 West 3rd Avenue in Colville, offers new and used vehicle sales and service. Vehicle sales is open 8:30 a.m. till 7 p.m. Monday through Saturday, with a Toyota Express Maintenance Center open 7:30 a.m. till 6 p.m. Monday through Friday. More information on Colville Toyota's vehicle inventory and services is available at colvilletoyota.com. A small-town dealership with a big heart.
And by Chihuahua Flooring.
Chihuahua Flooring at 214 East Clay in the 3rd Street Mall offers a wide variety of products including carpet, ceramic and porcelain tile, vinyl and laminate planks, and vinyl sheet flooring. Chihuahua Flooring carries products for both commercial businesses and residential homes, including brands like National Flooring, Dell Tile, Mannington, and Mohawk. They also offer blind repair. For more information, you can visit online at chihuahuaflooring.com, call 509-935-8021, or via email at chihuahuaflooring@gmail.com.
This is KCHW 102.7.
For the Daily Yonder and Public News Service, this is the news from rural America. Education leaders want Congress to reauthorize the Secure Rural Schools and Communities Act, though they say it's not a long-term solution. For decades, the act has funded schools and roads in more than 700 counties hit by declining timber revenue from federal land. Mark Haggerty is with the Center for American Progress.
So the industry doesn't support local schools, sheriff's departments anymore. And so if you just look at the way the economy actually works, it doesn't work for rural places.
The act was originally authorized through 2006, when counties were expected to find new ways to pay for infrastructure. But Haggerty says many haven't been able to.
The rural, isolated, timber-dependent communities effectively didn't recover.
Despite a reauthorization mandate every 3 years, the act died without a vote in the House of Representatives last year after unanimous approval by the Senate. This month, the USDA will unlock billions in federal funding for rural energy programs. Julia Tilton reports.
Farmers, small businesses, and rural electric cooperatives will be allowed to revise their proposals to fit Trump administration energy priorities. Keith Dennis at the Beneficial Electrification League says strengthening the grid and lowering consumer costs are nonpartisan.
I think folks going into that program made, for the most part, pretty durable projects that would withstand political changes.
The programs have already passed an administration review. But the Sierra Club's Jeremy Fisher says it's not clear if all the clean energy proposals will get a green light.
I think an optimistic read of this would be that awardees are expected to actually make no changes.
I'm Julia Tilton.
Scientists at 22 U.S. sites have maintained agricultural plant species since 1898, but cuts pushed by DOGE have upended their work. Professor Iago Hale at the University of New Hampshire says the potential loss of America's seed bunkers is alarming because the food system is only as safe as fighting the next plant disease.
If you subsist totally on chicken nuggets and KFC, that's fine. Understand that that comes back to plants grown in the field. The breading on your fried chicken, the French fries that you're eating, these are all products of crops.
The U.S. National Plant Germplasm System safeguards the genetic lines of 600,000 crops. Unless dormant seeds are replanted and cared for, they perish. Hale says crops like potatoes are very vulnerable.
They're not maintained as seed, they're maintained as potatoes. So the nation's entire potato collection has to be grown out every year or it will die.
The courts have temporarily reinstated some of the 300 NPGS scientists, but it's unclear when their work will resume. For the Daily Yonder and Public News Service, I'm Roz Brown. For more rural stories, visit dailyyonder.com.
KCHW headlines. I'm Chuck Ritchie. Don't procrastinate any longer on getting your real ID. The deadline for travelers flying domestically is only 3 weeks away on May 7th. Appointments for real ID compliant driver's licenses are filling up fast, and with limited staff, the state licensing department doesn't plan to extend office hours to address the crunch. The Trump administration plans to end the IRS's free direct file program, which users say make tax filing easy, fast, and economical. But Republican lawmakers and commercial tax preparation companies complained it was a waste of taxpayer money because free filing programs already exist, although they are hard to use. And the state Senate has greenlit a bill that would make habitual speeders install speed limiters on their cars, kind of like the breathalyzers they put on cars for drunk drivers. So if you're caught speeding or driving recklessly and get a restricted license, you may have to install one of these devices. In our last story, Deaconess Hospital in Spokane has started a new drop-off services for breastfeeding mothers to donate excess breast milk. In our last story, Deaconess Hospital in Spokane has started a new drop-off service for breastfeeding mothers to donate excess breast milk, which is in high demand in the Northwest, especially for premature babies. Deaconess is the first donor site for breast milk in Spokane and is currently looking for donor mothers. The hospital will ship it to the Northwest Mother's Milk Bank in Portland, where it will be tested, pasteurized, and frozen before being shipped to facilities in need. For KCHW 102.7, I'm Chuck Ritchie.
Northern Lights Public Radio is 102.7 KCHW, Chewelah, Deer Park, Colville.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to the KCHW Morning Show. We are back again with myself, Chuck Ritchie, the ever-lovely Paula Randall, Craig McQuain, and our very special guest today, Kenny Walker. Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
How you doing? How you doing, Kenny?
Can't complain. I woke up.
Outstanding. You know, I'm having, we played an extra news story there because we got to get resituated here with some microphones, which is perfectly fine with me, but also I forgot to reset our camera. So I'm going to go ahead.
Yeah.
If you're watching online, I'm going to try to finagle the camera angle here and see if I can get everybody on the same
You want me
screen.
to move this one down here then, maybe?
Well, yeah, that one's not up and going. You know what? Are you guys okay with not being on camera?
Yes.
Yeah, that is absolutely fine.
All right, Kenny.
It's just me.
I'm gonna get you solo on camera. Don't worry. It's a little far away. I might zoom you in a little bit, but. So good morning, Kenny. How you doing?
Not bad. Woke up, had a gob of coffee, and I got my quad shot here, so that'll keep me going here.
Nice. Mm-hmm. Well, thank you for coming in today. I really appreciate it. So you have an album here that you're here to talk about and play some songs for us.
Yeah.
Why don't you go ahead and tell us a little bit about yourself, you know, your history here and a little bit of your background in music.
Well, I was raised in Colville, and my whole family, especially on my father's side, were very musical. And so I used to get together, you know, every other weekend or so and just have a backyard hootenanny and barbecue and all that, you know, and it was always lots of fun. And then driving in the car or whatever, you know, I mean, there'd be music on and everybody'd be singing. But for some reason, I always picked a harmony line.
Nice.
And would sing, you know, and at 6 years old, my dad taught me my first two chords on the guitar you could play with one finger, C and G. Don't play the top two strings, he'd say, because otherwise it'll sound like crap. So anyway, and it was an old song called Tying Knots in the Devil's Tail.
Ooh.
And it was just a two-chord song, and in fact, I can still play it to this day. But anyway, so but he created a monster because I started playing guitar. Then at 13, I started writing songs.
Oh, nice.
And
Wow.
it just went from there. And he kind of regretted it after a bit. He says, there's more to life than music. And I said, huh?
Says who?
No, there's
yeah.
not.
So music is very important to me. And been down the road a bit. I just, it was always just backyard stuff and everything. And then it was, oh man, what year was it? I had just turned 35. Anyway, and some people out of Colville, Kettle Falls, all mixed up, kind of going to start a band, and they needed a singer. And a friend of mine came and he says, "You would be perfect for this. You'd be perfect for this," and I was scared to death, And so went and auditioned, and we played 2 or 3 songs or something like that. And so yeah, you're in, So we booked a club to play.
Yeah.
The next week.
Wow.
Oh,
where was that?
We hadn't even practiced. We had
gonna
only
say.
done.
That sounds like my experience with music.
We had only done about 8 songs, so it was like get together in the garage and cram,
Oh, how funny.
So we finally had enough music to play a night, and we ignored requests because we didn't know any of
Right?
them.
Where was this?
This was in Spokane.
Okay.
And I had my first wife and I we divorced, and my second wife was too young to get in the club.
Wow.
Yeah. So anyhow,
So she had to join the band so she could be in
she
the
had
club.
to join the band. Yeah.
Became a backup singer.
Nah, she was 20, so
Tambourine
within 6 months or so, she could show up, and then we
Yeah.
started playing. And this was on North Division somewhere, and I can't remember the name of the club or whatever. But then we got a weekend gig for quite a while at used to be the Bend restaurant. Now it was the Blues at the Bend.
Yeah, now it's
Solistro had it at the time.
Market Street Pizza now.
Yeah,
but
yeah. And then he passed, and so I just kind of moved and changed up bands. Now the biggest band that I ever had in Spokane was the You and Your Horse Band.
Nice. I like it.
Yeah, I can give you a little story how we came up with the name for the band, but that can be left without microphones.
Right?
Yeah.
Quite radio appropriate.
But we played 7 years, 7 days a week, twice on Sundays at the Chef Restaurant when Solistro had that.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
And, or not Solistro. Solistro had the band. But anyway, we did an open mic night on Monday nights. Sunday afternoon was just kind of a jam.
Mm-hmm.
And that was from 4 o'clock in the afternoon. And then at about 8:30 or so, that stopped, and then we played for real as the band, but we'd still have some people get up with us and everything. Then Monday night was open mic night.
Oh, fun.
But I was, we were doing that for 7 nights a week, and twice on Sundays, basically. That's what I called it. And I was working 6 days a week too, so you can imagine how that was going.
Kind of like Craig's schedule.
Yeah, I was busy. I was busy. I'll tell you what. And but then I had my 2 kids, and that was cool. My daughter, she's still here, and I have an adopted daughter down in Portland from my last wife. I lost her. It'll be 2 months this October.
Oh.
Complications due to MS, but she was very, very into my music. She bought me this ring, which I wear on this hand, which is, I used to have a Gibson 335, and it was that color, so she bought me a ring to commemorate that.
Oh.
And then she bought me this ring, which has a treble clef and notes around it. One of these days, I'll write down all these notes and figure out if it actually plays something.
Right.
Yeah.
And then I have a necklace that has a treble clef on it.
Oh,
So
nice.
whenever I play music, I have those.
Oh,
nice.
But I took a 3-year sabbatical from playing music, and stayed home with her till she passed. And but before she passed, she called me aside and she says, you cry hard, but don't cry long. And then she says, you get back into your music and you put your whole heart and soul into it, and don't you disappear. She says, because I know what your music means to you. It's your emotional release. It's you write songs, you put your heart and soul into it, and that's you. She says, you promise me you do that. And she says, and then when you're done, I'll be waiting.
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, and you said you had a song for her, correct?
Yes.
You want to go ahead and
yeah?
Are you ready?
This is a song I wrote for her called "Taste of Heaven."
All right, here we go. "Taste of Heaven," Kenny Walker.
We got a. That working?
Yep, we got you.
All right. If I should die before the morning light, I won't care where I go. When it's time, I won't put up a fight. I've found heaven in afterglow. You took my wounded heart and pulled me from hell. You fulfilled all my broken dreams, and time will only tell that you are my angel, my one taste of heaven. You keep my heart in clouds, feeling so free. Yes, you are my angel, and all I'll ever need. The way you love me puts me in a spin. I hunger for more. I see you standing in the pale moonlight as your robe hits the floor. You are my angel, my one taste of heaven. You keep my heart in a cloud and feeling so free. Yes, you are my angel, and all I'll ever need. Yes, you are my angel, my one taste of heaven. You keep my heart in a cloud and feeling so free. Yes, you are my angel, and all I'll ever need. Yes, you are my angel, and all I'll ever need.
Wow, that was gorgeous.
Wow, that was wonderful.
Thank you.
Wow.
It's still a little tough to go through it sometimes.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, I can imagine.
thank you for sharing that,
Yeah.
Kenny. That was amazing.
Absolutely beautiful. So yeah, that's yeah. Now I'm getting teary.
I know.
Wow. So you've been you said you started songwriting at 13.
Yeah.
And you took a little bit of time off. Did you write continuously through that whole time? Did you?
Yes, I did. In fact, one of these days, I've been listening, and I know what you guys do down here sometimes, and I have a good 5 albums worth of music left that I need to record.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
We would love that.
And pull my band over here.
Outstanding.
My band's spread out all over the place. My lead guitar player and drummer live in Rathdrum, Idaho. And then my keyboard player lives in Troy, Montana.
Oh, wow.
And these are all the musicians on that recording?
Yeah.
The Spokes and Spurs, right? Yeah. Okay, because I was going to ask you about that, if they were studio
Well,
session guys.
I had a guy that played steel guitar.
A session guy.
He played, session guy. So he came in. But other than that,
Wow.
Yeah, so there's some really tasty chops in there from all the band, all the people in the band. I noticed.
There's some good musicians.
Yeah, absolutely.
So you said you have about five albums left. What does your song library look like of all the music you've written?
It's a mess. It's a pile of papers. Pile of papers about like this, and folders here and there and everything. I even have some that are like half songs. I never throw anything away. So I've got pieces of paper that have one lines on it. You know, I get a line and then.
Well, it's funny. Like you'll get this real good idea for a song, and all of a sudden it just kind of it doesn't necessarily die. It just kind of goes into hibernation.
Yeah,
and then hopefully
you get so far and you have a mental block or something like that. But I tuck them away, and then sometimes I'll end up doing a song where I'll go, hey, I got to check this out. And I'll go pull that. No, well, I'll pull that line that I had some other idea for a song.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's a song, and it works.
Right.
There's a song on that album called Frustrated.
Mm-hmm.
And I was trying to write a real nice, pretty love song.
Yeah.
And I just couldn't get it there. And I was just getting so frustrated.
Yeah.
So I just started going at it on the guitar and just and that song Frustrated came in. So I recorded that, and it was a result of frustration from trying to write something that I couldn't write then, so it works there. It's really strange. And I'm sure that there's stories by a lot of songwriters that have that same kind of story going on. They get bits and pieces here and there and they can't put it together. And then all of a sudden it falls into place when you're looking to do something else.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I read, or didn't read it, but I watched I think it was a short video with John Mayer, and he just says, like, I'm working all the time on writing songs, and I'll have like 3 in a week that are close, and then the last line doesn't work, so I have to throw them away.
Yeah.
It's
well,
like, it can't.
I tell you, John, don't throw them away, because they will come into play sooner or later. You never know.
Well, right. I think he just means that's just
you tuck them away, and then
Well, like I've talked to musicians, they'll spend months working on a song, and nothing. It's just not coming together, and then something will hit, and they'll write a hit song in an hour.
Yeah.
And I guess it's just as it hits you, right?
Yeah.
So, and I know my wife she attempts to write novels, and she'll have an idea, and she'll put together an outline, and she'll write the first couple chapters, and then they don't go anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
my father was a poet.
Yeah.
He would write poetry. In fact, he sent me before I left to go to Missouri to do what I need to do, get overseas and everything, and get my music over there. He showed up with a poem that he had written and asked me if I could put it to music. Well, I had to write a chorus because it was just strictly a poem all the way through. So I wrote a chorus for it and then recorded it and sent it to him. And he was just head over heels with it. He played it for everybody. He took it around and showed it off and everything.
Wow.
Oh, how fun.
Yeah, in fact, I was scheduled to go overseas on tour in October 2001. Then 9/11 hit.
Oh, wow.
Shut all the doors and windows. And by the time they opened up again, I looked at my wife and I said, this just isn't me.
Yeah.
I says, I can't go. I want to see the faces of the people I play for.
Yeah.
I want to see if I'm reaching them.
Yeah.
I want to know where the emotion is and everything, because I can't sing a song. Even a song that somebody else wrote, when I do it, I make it mine. Well, when I did Turn the Page.
Yeah, that was not Bob Seger's version. That was your version.
No, well,
yeah.
that's what I always thought that it should have sounded like, because the frustration and the pain and the sorrow and the sadness and the loneliness that he portrayed in that song didn't come out.
Right.
The way the song was written, and I love Bob Seger. I do a lot of his stuff, but it's like that song, for some reason, to me, said so much more than what the professional version of the recording was at the time frame was probably meant to go that way. But now, you look back on it and you say, no, there's more emotion in that song than what you heard.
Right.
In the first version.
It seems like Bob Seger, you said the name of it, it comes to me. I can think of a few Bob Seger covers off the top of my head that are completely different than his songs, and they sound like completely different.
Yeah.
His music had a really great way of sort of leaving itself open for interpretation.
It really pissed me off a couple of times. Pardon me, but when they took Like a Rock and made it a Chevy commercial.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But now, see, that's all done and over, and I'm back to... I do that song too as well, and it's like it says so much. I'm still here like a rock.
Yeah.
But I'm older now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It still sounded amazing.
Older
I was
now,
just going to say,
still
your
running
voice.
against the wind.
There's something about a musician whose voice ages so well, because there's a timbre that it develops that you just can't fake it, and you have that wonderful. Relaxed, beautiful, smooth timbre when you sing, and it makes you want to close your eyes and just sink into it. I love it.
And the control. I
Yeah.
mean, it's apparent on your recordings too.
Yeah.
And I've been able to hear you. It was karaoke, but just to hear like your voice, and when you don't have the instrument and you're just the only instrument you're using is your voice.
Right.
It's amazing. And you mastered it. It's awesome to watch.
Ooh, I want to know what you did for
I appreciate
karaoke.
that.
What did you do for karaoke?
Oh, we had a birthday over at the Legion.
He was just helping me out because nobody else was signing up. So
one of the gals, and he had the karaoke thing going. So I said, okay, I'll do a couple of them. Everybody was bugging me.
Well, it was an interesting night because it was like they wanted karaoke, but then none of the people that were there for the party were signing up.
Yeah,
they
just weren't doing it.
It was just like, so it was just people that weren't really involved in the party.
There was one gal that kept coming up. She was doing it once. I said, well, I might as well,
Right.
Yeah.
leapfrog this thing.
So. Well, what happens with me is like I'll sing a couple of songs that are like more in my range, and then all of a sudden I'll be like, okay, well I'm gonna try one that's a little outside, and then of course I smoke my voice, and then,
right.
Then I'm like just trying to like get through the night, get through the gig without like completely destroying my voice, because I usually have live gigs that I need to have my voice for, and I don't want to be like hoarse or. Well,
that's when that's always the time of night you swap over and do a Tom Waits song or something.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Piano's been drinking. Yeah.
Not me. So do you have something else
like
in the
Dr.
pipe
Hook,
right?
Yeah, there you go.
Do you have something else you want to play for us?
Actually, this song I'm just talking about that one, Frustrated.
Yeah.
We're talking about that. This is the one I came up with when I couldn't write a love song.
We do have a little rule here. If you talk about a song on the air, you got to play
Yeah,
it.
Yeah, got to play it. Okay, yeah. Well, I guess I'm right there then. It's in the key of E if you want to follow along. I've been sitting here all night, trying to collect my thoughts and write the words are there that just won't fit together right, babe. Here I sit, I'm frustrated. I wanna write poetic lines, flowing thoughts and rhythmic rhymes. The thoughts are coming fast and free, but my pen won't put them down for me. I'm frustrated. I'm frustrated. Sit here and try again. Put my words to life with a pen. I've been sitting here racking my brain, but as you can see, baby, it was all in vain. I'm frustrated. I'm frustrated. Well, I want to pour out my heart today. Can't seem to find the words to say how I feel and how I think. Seriously, baby, on the brink, I'm frustrated. I'm frustrated. Yeah, I'm so frustrated. Ooh, I'm frustrated.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it.
Paul and I were about ready to start singing backup.
I know, right? That was grooving. I love that.
I was
to sing along there.
Right? That's the happiest frustrated song I've ever heard.
I'm a little jealous of the people that are out there right now driving to work in their cars, listening to that song on the way to work. I bet you that got them up and moving. Don't speed, folks.
Yeah. Keep it down. Keep it down. Watch out for the turkeys.
Don't get road rage now.
The turkeys aren't very smart this year.
Yeah,
Oh,
watch out
man.
for the turkeys.
We were talking about that. They're all over the highways this year.
Oh, man,
that was just such energy in that song. That was phenomenal. Thank you so much. Yeah,
thank you.
That was beautiful.
Yeah, we were dancing in our seats over here. We're like,
yeah, that was great stuff. So where you said you're performing at the American Legion right now?
At the American Legion every Wednesday night. It's just for a couple hours. Just go in there. My father was in Korea. I never served, but I joined as one of the sons. And VFW, and I just believe in what it is.
Yeah,
I mean, it's there's a lot of soldiers out there that get forgotten.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, there are these the Legion, and we have the Eagles, and we have the and all of those places like that, but there was just, I don't know, it just felt like, to me anyway, is that they're there, but I don't know, it wasn't advertised enough or not really available, something like that, to where a lot of these people just didn't know anything about it. And then when they did come in, why, it just wasn't what it should be.
Yeah.
I don't know how to explain it, I guess, but other than the fact that I'm just giving back, I don't ask anything. I put out a tip jar, and they're very generous.
Good.
And it goes. A lot of it ends up going back.
Right.
Giving back. So I just put new flooring in their main area there.
Nice.
Oh, wow. Okay. That was you. Okay. Yeah, very good.
Put all that flooring in there for them. They had it, and they didn't know who they were going to get and whether they could afford to do it. I said, you don't need to get anybody. That's what I've been doing for 57 years.
Yeah.
And it says, let me do it.
Yeah.
Good for you.
Very cool.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, what they
so
do
they
is
came and helped me. It was on a Sunday. It took all day to do it, but we got her done.
Good. Well, like you said, what they do is important, and there's a lot of way too many of our soldiers, especially you look at what happened with a lot of the Vietnam vets when they came back, the Korean War vets, even back to World War II. They just kind of come home and they're just like, all right, guys, back to normal life, and you can't come out of that and come back to normal life. And I think
I'd like to put a shout out to a friend of mine and a friend of a lot of us there at the VFW. He and I played a duo for a while. He was playing the drums, just nice, light, little percussion in the background, little beat. And he had a stroke. And his name's Bobby Purepoint. And he's at the Buena Vista Nursing Home up in Colville. And he's not doing well. And we all miss him.
Yeah.
And so just a shout out to you, Bobby, if you're listening.
Oh, I hope he is.
Yeah, Bobby's been a musician in the area for a long time, and he performed with my folks in a band called Borderline.
Yeah.
With Jack George. And they were a pretty hot little group that was playing around the area for a while, and he's always been a big supporter of local live music.
Oh, and he would do anything for anybody. He was always going and helping people. He didn't care.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, it didn't care what it cost or what time it took out of his day or whatever. He was always there with a smile on his face. You know, so there's a lot of people owe a lot to that man.
Yeah.
I'm one of them.
Nice.
He was there, and so incredible guy, and he was good, not a bad singer either, you know.
Yeah.
And he liked that Elvis stuff. I'll tell you what, man. He'd be back there beating on the drums, you know. And I don't know how. I don't understand the ability of being able to drum and sing.
Right.
Well, it's this process.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Well, I have people look at me and say, "Well, how do you do this and this and this without thinking about it and sing still?" Well, I guess it's about the same thing. It's just that this is what I grew up on, and it's a part of me, you know.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
Well, I think too that's why there's so few singing drummers.
Yeah.
I mean, Phil Collins is about the only one I can think think of off the top of my head.
Oh,
I'm
I
sure
know.
you guys know more.
How did he do that?
Ringo Starr. No.
I
know. I'm just
Ringo.
I'm kidding. But no, I mean, it's so. What I've noticed is that since I'm a rhythm player and I sing and I play bass, like bass and singing is similar, and I can switch over and play drums, but and sing like the same songs, but it's a different part of your brain. Right, so it's like you're basically just that's outside. Now, my dad does that. He plays keyboard, and then like I can switch him over to drums, and he can play drums and sing the same songs. It's just unbelievable, really, and like how you can just do that. Like,
see, when it comes time to do something like that for me, I have to send a 3-page application, you know, and
Right.
wait for processing to have it come back and say, okay, yeah, you can do this.
Right. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It seems to me like drumming is so physical that you just the physical exertion it takes to drum, and then to add singing on top of that. I don't know how drummers would have the voice,
The
left.
air,
Even just
yeah.
the air.
And you're moving your core so much while you're drumming that so how can you keep a voice velvet and smooth without going with all the impact that you're doing on the drums? So that just boggles my mind.
Oh yeah.
Well, and Bob, this is a story that kind of reminded me of. I think we were at the Civic Center. So they have that big like gymnasium that used to be the cafeteria for the school when it was a school, and then there's a stage there at the end. And I can remember my parents playing a gig there, and me being up on stage and watching Bob playing the drums, singing like he does. But then he had like it was a foot switch, but it was for the lighting. And so, like, as the song would change, he would change.
He would change the lights too at the same time.
Yeah.
Oh no, that's over my head.
Who was that?
Bob Pierpoint.
Okay,
So
wow.
when he was playing in Borderline, like, and he would be changing the mood of the song with his foot, with the light switch, and all it was like it was just something that he probably built himself with some old gel lights, And so what was cool is like I remember going over there as a kid and doing it for him, so he didn't have to,
So he's singing, playing the drums, and working the lights at the same
And
time.
working the lights.
Yeah.
Can he do my taxes too?
Probably.
Probably
yeah.
all at the same time.
Yeah, very
He'll
talented
end the song
guy.
with here, sign here, check.
Kenny, you sound like you got another song.
Well, I do have one, but I don't know what the format is here. It's not one that I wrote. It's a Chris Christopherson song, but I do.
Oh, that's my first cousin.
Really?
Yeah.
Nuh-uh.
Chris Christopherson is my first cousin.
Wow.
I'm very jealous.
Well, then she's got.
I wanted to meet him so bad. But
I never met him.
This is one of his songs that I used to sing to my wife all the time.
Yeah, you gotta play it.
And,
yeah, now you have to.
I definitely encourage everybody out there to get Kenny Walker's album.
Yeah.
I've seen the morning burning golden on the mountain in the sky. Aching with the feeling of the freedom of an eagle when she flies. Turning on the world the way she smiled upon my soul as I lay dying. Healing as the colors in the sunshine and the shadows of her eyes. Waking in the morning to the feeling of her fingers on my skin. Wiping out the traces of the people and the places where I've been. Teaching me that yesterday was something that I never thought of trying. Talking of tomorrow and the money, love, and time we had to spend. Teaching me that yesterday that I never thought of trying. And loving her was easier than anything I'll ever do again. Coming close together with a feeling that I've never known before in my time. She ain't ashamed to be a woman. She ain't afraid to be a friend. I don't know the answers to the easy way. She opened every door in my mind. But dreaming was as easy as believing it was never gonna end. And loving her is easier than anything I'll ever do again. Coming close together with a feeling that I've never known before in my time. She ain't ashamed to be my woman. She ain't afraid to be my friend. I don't know the answers to the easy way. She opened every door in my mind. Dreaming was as easy as believing it was never gonna end. And loving her was easier than anything I'll ever do again. Ever do again.
Wow.
Nice.
Nailed it. I'm a big Chris Christopherson fan, and that was really great.
I know.
I just need a moment of silence now.
Right?
Sorry, everybody.
Yeah,
So-
I get that.
So really quick, we're about out of time for the show. So we can find you at the American Legion
Every Wednesday night.
Every Wednesday night. I gotta say, I've heard your album, I've heard you live. It's just on a personal note, it's incredible to me that we can catch you every Wednesday night at the
I love it. Yeah.
at the American Legion instead of like, hey, Kenny Walker's coming to do a concert next month at the Sullivan Arena, or Sullivan Arena. That's in Anchorage, not here. Yeah.
No, it's just I love even though you have more people than one, I love that one-on-one contact. I love getting eye contact with someone, and I see how the song is affecting them, and that affects me. So I get better at it, and then it affects me more, and then you just add some more.
Yeah.
And I go home feeling totally invigorated.
Right.
It takes me a long time to get to sleep after I get through playing because
I've noticed with my own playing, like I'll sit there and I'll be like, okay, I need to go through my set, right, just to do some rehearsing myself, and I'm like, for some reason I can't focus enough when I'm by myself to do it, but when I have an audience, it's like for some reason I'm just like clear and I can do it. Like,
do you find yourself sometimes to where you may have a set out? Like what you got programmed, what you want to do, but when it starts working for you, that set goes right to crap because you end up doing whatever comes to head. You see the people.
And that's one thing. It's like a comedian doing crowd work.
Yeah,
I do the same thing I've done it for a long time, and it's just the way that for me to stick to a rigid set is much more difficult than me to, because it's like I want to basically fine tune my songs, my set for the audience that I'm playing for.
Yeah, and you don't know what your audience is going to be that you're playing for until you start.
Yeah, I can remember it being
seeing the response, and you say, oh. Okay, well, this next song is not going to work. I think if I do this one, it's going to keep them going.
Well,
and that's the way it goes.
Well, and like I had a wireless guitar and a headset, and I'm playing like a gig where I'm in the corner, and everybody's at their tables talking, and this is like a normal thing to have happen where everybody's socializing. They're not really paying attention. You're just background music, right? And then having that headset and having the guitar, now all of a sudden I just walk right up to the table and I start playing a song and get them to sing it with me.
Yeah,
and then you got them. Right?
You too? I used to do that. In fact, I've got a headset at home, but I lost the singing unit. So I'm going to get another one, and I want to get one for my guitar, too, at the same time.
Yeah.
So I can do that, because I used to do the same thing. I just lean right over and be playing, and there's the mic, and have the person sing with me. And they just get a big glow on their face, and it was great. And then the crowd's, pick me!
Yeah. Right. Yeah, they want their chance, too. Yeah. Well, and that's one thing that I learned from Max Daniels, watching the way
entertainment.
And the way he would work a crowd, and he would get everybody singing with him, and I'm going, wait a minute, there's something to that.
Yes.
It's like you're giving the audience something even more than just a performance. They are becoming part of the performance.
Right.
And it's so huge. It's just like I think that's one of the things that you need to do as a performer to really engage with the audience that way.
Well, yeah, and it goes so far to connect you to the audience. Otherwise, like you said, you're just sort of the background noise, But once you break that, it's almost like breaking the third wall on film, Once you
that Van Morrison song, brain fart.
The good one.
There's multiple ones.
Everybody can sing the harmony or the chorus on.
Well, our radio audience.
Brown-eyed girl.
Yeah.
That's Brown-eyed girl.
Because everybody sings it.
And you can stop. You can stop and just everybody's singing. You can hear all the vocals if you can get everybody into it, And you don't even have to play. You just stop singing and stop playing.
Right.
And it's a cappella. Everybody's singing it.
And
then you come back in when it comes back to verse, and it's just
Well, I had
it's so rewarding.
Last year I had the opportunity to watch John Cougar perform, and that was amazing at the Gorge, because there was 20,000 people in the audience all singing his songs, and it's just like, whoa, mind blown. I mean, he has so many good, catchy songs, but just everybody in the audience is just right there singing every word, and he could basically just stop playing, and the whole song would play out.
Oh, how fun!
Yeah,
I think one of the best audience interaction things I've ever been at live was I watched. You guys know who Puddle's Pity Party is? He's a singing clown.
I'm familiar. I'm
He's
a
about
fan.
7 feet tall.
Yeah,
he's got the most beautiful, angelic, deep, booming voice. At the show, he wants you to pay attention to the show. There was somebody with their camera up filming. So he walks off stage, grabs their camera out of their hand, walks across the audience, and hands it to another random person.
Oh.
And then he starts walking around to other people with their cameras and starts grabbing their cameras and starts walking. And he probably grabbed like 10, 15. And then everyone's holding their phone up like, "Ooh, me."
I'd be like,
Right. You're like,
take my phone.
Take my phone. Like, what?
Half the audience is hiding their
I
phones
was
away.
gonna
The other
say.
half is getting theirs out because they want to do it too. And but then at the end there was a moment and he just kind of sat down while everyone waited and laughed at everyone while they were getting their phones back. And it was hilarious. And it just sucked everybody in so deep, you know.
So there's a move that I saw this. His name is Laser Lloyd. He's a musician out of Israel, and I've been following him for a while. And he's just got a great voice. That's what, I'm like, oh man, that guy's got an awesome voice, and he's a great guitar player. But he was doing a live show, and you know how in our younger years, I actually played with a local musician, Jory Morgan. You probably know Jory.
Yeah, sounds familiar.
Yeah, but anyway, he'd always get up on the tables and dance and play.
Yeah.
He'd have the headset, and he'd always do that. Well, Laser Lloyd was doing that, but everybody was up dancing, and he's like picking up people's cell phones and putting them in his pocket. Like he's just like while he's playing and singing, and then he's like just nonchalantly like grabbing people's stuff and as a joke, as a gag. But I thought, I'm like, that's a good move. Like that's pretty funny. Like
wow.
I love it.
Misdirection.
Yeah.
Wait.
Well,
Give me back my phone. Yeah.
And doing that kind of it works great too because like in that one that I was talking about, everybody after that, their phones were gone. Everybody was focused on the show and stopped worrying about trying to record it or social media. Because everyone's like, all right, we're in the show now,
Yeah.
And it was just.
I gotta call my
great.
sister and tell her where's my phone.
Yeah. So
Well,
it looks like Rob Lee just said good morning, right?
Yeah,
so
I was going to say
good
our
morning,
radio
Rob.
audience.
Robbie.
Carrie Gibbs is saying she loves it.
Yep.
Awesome sound. So yes, I know we had some hearts and some likes floating up when you were singing. So.
We'll tell you
Very
what,
nice.
we are actually running a little bit late.
Yep.
Do you have one more in you? I want to do my little spiel, end the show, and then maybe you can just lead us out when after I'm done here.
Okay, yeah.
All right. Well, first of all, I want to thank you so much for coming on. I appreciate it. Man, go check them out at the American Legion every Wednesday night. This has been a fun show. Thank you so much for coming.
Yeah, thank
you
you,
can
Kenny.
stay tuned
Thank you,
right
Kenny.
here tonight on KCHW from 6 to 8 p.m. for the best classic rock and more with Old Man Mark live in the studio. The psychedelic eras from 8 to 10 with The Hermit. Then we're going to stick around with The Hermit for Days of Confusion from 10 to 11. Y'all have a great weekend out there. It's going to be some great weather. Get out, enjoy it, maybe get some gardening done. And thank you so much for listening to KCHW 102.7. This has been our morning show. And Kenny, take us out.
Have a great weekend.
Have a great weekend, everybody.
Weekend, everyone.
A little song about my grandpa. He still wears his boots and listens to Haggard on the radio. But he traded in his horse and saddle for a Harley, and he took off down the road. He's getting older and he feels like his life is just slipping away. He's gonna raise a little hell before he meets his final judgment day. Now it's spokes and spurs and a lot of nerve, wild women and rock and roll. He's riding around like old James Dean, but his heart's still country soul. He'll swing and two-step all night long till it's time to head for home. Then it's spokes and spurs and a cloud of dust and the rebel rides on alone. His hair's long and gray and it blows wild in the wind. His long rider kept getting caught in the spokes, so it's in the closet with the Stetson. A pair of tarnished spurs his grandpa gave him, strung proudly from the handlebars. He said, son, always remember your roots and be true to who you are. Now it's spokes and spurs and a lot of nerve, wild women and rock and roll. He's riding around like old James Dean, but his heart's still country soul. He
We'll swing and two-step all night long till it's time to head for home. Then it's spokes and spurs and a cloud of dust, and the river rides on along. Now it's spokes and spurs and a cloud of dust, and the river rides on along.
Yeah.
Yay! Great job.
It's 9:11.
Your KCHW